Hey Virgo, here's your weekly horoscope for January 31 to February 6th. Well, there's a lot going on in the sky this week. Astrologers are a little freaked out because there's a number of squares that are kind of heavy and have us concerned. For your sign, Mars is in Taurus, and normally that is very, very positive for you. Mars is full of energy and activity, and when it's in a mutual earth sign to yours, such as Taurus, it does tend to give you the impetus to succeed. You're motivated, you're ambitious, and everything is very harmonious. Unfortunately, though, the Mars in Taurus is squaring the Sun in Aquarius. That is a rather disharmonious aspect because we have two sign qualities that are very much in conflict with one another because they're so different, and that's Aquarius and Taurus. Complicating that is Uranus, also in Taurus, which again may be kind for you, but Uranus is in very major conflict with Saturn in Aquarius right now in a square, and that is very much, well, let's put it this way. It's like people knocking heads. What you have is you have some very different energy between Aquarius and Taurus. Aquarius is all for the new and Taurus is all for the old. And when they come into conflict with one another, they're both stubborn, so nothing moves until there's explosions, fights, and all kinds of problems. So this is what's going on in the sky, but fortunately, because the Uranus and the Mars may be positively aspecting you, what I'm instead seeing for Virgo is the potential for, although these are frustrating squares going on, they may actually be the catalyst that you need to fix problems. And even unusually, sometimes, with a frustrating aspect such as these, we find a solution because something happened that we weren't aware of, or because we had to come up with a solution to fix something that broke down. Later we think, that was a pretty good thing to do the next time it happens as well. So perhaps these squares for Virgo might be more learning experiences for you this week, but I still have to caution you about the typical Mercury retrograde activities. There's a couple articles, including a new one on my website about Mercury retrograde at RobShawAstrology.ca. So the Saturn-Uranus square. Now, for your sign, generally, that's going to put Uranus in Taurus in the ninth house of higher education, learning, philosophy, religion, and travel. But it is in a difficult aspect to Aquarius, which is in your sixth house of work and work environment. So perhaps this week you're going to find that shipments don't arrive, communications don't get sent or arrive. There are miscommunications, mechanical breakdowns perhaps at work. Those things can occur for sure. But I think that the softer aspects provided by the Pluto and Chiron at least might cushion some of that for yourself and other signs. With Mars conjunct Lilith and Jupiter square Lilith pretty much most of the week, Lilith is not a planet. It's a point in the horoscope that unfortunately is where all of our deepest and darkest emotions and feelings are held. And when these types of planets come along to touch that point, then it's like opening the lid of Pandora's box. So it could be a rather troubling week for most people. So Virgo, do catch up on Mercury retrograde information and try to avoid conflict and other potentially frustrating situations this week if you can. Everybody's nerves are pretty much shot, and someone may decide they want to take their frustrations out on you, and that would be a mistake because you can give it back as well as take it. But hopefully there are no fights or disagreements this week. Maybe just a few mechanical breakdowns, but they can get fixed, and a lot easier than relationships can get fixed. Virgo, I hope you have a good week ahead.